COP30, a climate summit marked by division and stalled progress. The recently concluded COP30 climate summit in Belém, Brazil, stands out as one of the most fractious in 3 decades of global negotiations. The talks ended Saturday without a concrete commitment to phase out fossil fuels, highlighting a deep breakdown in international consensus. While some nations, notably major fossil fuel producers, saw the outcome as a victory, many others expressed frustration over the lack of ambition. The core obstacle, fossil fuel resistance, the primary sticking point, was the refusal of several key countries to agree to a roadmap away from coal, oil, and gas. Brazil, under President Lula da Silva, initially pushed for such a commitment, even securing preliminary support from nations like the UK. However, COP President André Correia do Lago prioritized consensus over decisive action, ultimately sidelining the fossil fuel roadmap. Negotiations further deteriorated when Arab countries and major producers like Saudi Arabia flatly refused to engage in discussions about phasing out fossil fuels, with one delegate reportedly telling EU representatives, "We make energy policy in our capital, not in yours." This impasse led Brazil to propose non-binding roadmaps on deforestation and fossil fuels outside the formal COP framework, a move that lacked legal enforceability. The EU's weakened position, the European Union arrived at COP30 advocating for a fossil fuel roadmap, but found itself cornered on climate finance. The agreement to triple climate adaptation funding was included in the final draft without clear objections from the EU, leaving them with little leverage to push for stronger action on fossil fuels. Experts like Li Xiu of the Asia Society noted a power shift favoring countries in the BASIC and BRICS blocs, diminishing the EU's influence. The EU's attempt to secure concessions on fossil fuels ultimately failed, forcing them to accept the agreement with minimal gains. The future of the COP process, the summit reignited questions about the relevance of the COP process itself. Critics point to the logistical impracticality of annual global summits and the slow pace of progress. Activist Harjit Singh argues that the COP model requires retrofitting and must be supplemented by external initiatives. With the global energy landscape evolving rapidly, the consensus-driven COP framework appears increasingly outdated. Trade disputes enter the climate arena for the first time. Global trade emerged as a central issue at the summit. The European Union's planned carbon border tax on high-emission goods sparked resistance from major trading partners like China, India, and Saudi Arabia, who view the measure as unfair and protectionist. While the EU maintains that the tax is designed to incentivize cleaner production, critics argue that it will disadvantage developing economies. The dispute was ultimately deferred to future talks, highlighting the growing intersection of climate policy and international trade. China and the US, diverging strategies. The world's 2 largest emitters, China and the United States, approached COP30 with distinct strategies. The US, under a likely Trump administration, remained largely absent, emboldening allies like Russia to obstruct progress. China, by contrast, maintained a low political profile while quietly securing economic advantages in the renewable energy sector. As Li Xiu observed, China kept a low political profile, and they focused on making money in the real world. With solar energy becoming increasingly competitive, China is positioning itself as a dominant player in the future energy market. In conclusion, COP30 underscored the growing divide between nations on climate action. The summit failed to deliver meaningful commitments on fossil fuels, trade disputes complicated negotiations, and the long-term viability of the COP process itself is now in question. The world's climate trajectory remains uncertain as geopolitical realities increasingly overshadow the urgency of collective action.